Hello everyone, how are you again? In this video we're gonna talk about the function. Previously we talked about the formula and we said here, for example, I want to calculate those here using the formula. So I just using the sign and then the quantity, for example, multiply the unit price because I drag it or just autofill. Now I can see here the total using the what? Using the formula here. The formula we said before, the formula is like an expression or like a mathematical expression or any mathematical expression that should be exceeded with the equal sign to calculate the value of the cells in the Excel. So here now I want to using to find the total but using the function, not formula. Here for example I want to using the formula, the function. Now fill to find the total of those here. You can using the formula to find the total. Just equal here at the black. Just equal and then very easy the first one plus the second one plus the third one and so on, right? But now I want to using the function. So just equal and the name of the function is similar to what I need here, like an English language. So I just add sum. The name of the function called sum. And the function, you should write the function like this. Equal sign, after that the name of the function, and then open the bracket, every function like this. Inside the brackets you can see an argument or parameter, whatever, call it argument. That means you can see here like a hint or like a small tips from the Excel. When just open the bracket, I see here the first argument number 1 should be number 1, and after that you can see here a comma. Sometimes in the Excel you can see not comma but the semicolon. If you see a comma here like this in the tips here, you should add the comma. If you see the semicolon, that means you should write the semicolon. So here number 1 and then comma. After that between like this brackets, this type of bracket, that means is optional. That means you can add just one number or range, or you can add a multiple numbers or range. Between every number you should add the comma like this here. So now just open the bracket and I can very easy just select the range here, all the range, and just close the bracket, and that is I can see the result, the summation of those here. You can see here this function, or if you go here to the formula and show formula, now you can see here this the formula and this the function. What's the difference? I said the function is just a formula, like a formula, but it is a predefined formula. Function called a predefined formula, I mean a built-in formula. This formula is already exists in the Excel. You just want to call this function. For example, sum. I just type the sum, and inside sum I add the argument. Very easy. But in the function, or in the formula, I just add it by myself. Just add equal and then add whatever I need, multiply or summation or minus or whatever. But the function is predefined formula. So again, let's check here and go again. For example, not just like this. Now for example, I want to add this number from here to here, but I don't need this. Just this, and then from here to here. This I don't need it. For example, I will just change the color to the black, for example, because I want just to add those here. So now just using function, just sum. After that select the first number. You can see here after that comma, and I want to add another range. I want to just ignore this, add this. So I want to add those number. Here for example I want to add this range and also this range, and I want to add this range, for example this range, and comma, and this range from here to here, and comma, and then this range also, for example. So you have three ranges here, and enter. Now I can see the result. Very easy using the function. We have many of this function. You have a lot of functions like sum, like average, like count, like max, like min. We have hundreds of functions here. You can see if you want the functions, You can just type in the Google, you can searching in the Google, or just go to the formulas, and you can see here recently using this function here. I almost or many of time losing this function: financial function, logical function, text function, date function, lookup and reference, math function, and so on. We have multiple functions here: statistical function, and so on. So now, for example, I want to see here the result. Number of order. I mean here, I said here, number of orders. Number. I don't need to total of the orders, or I make summation to the orders. I just want the number. Count the order. I just want to count the order. So if you see number of order, you should using another type of function, call it count. So just equal and count. I want to count the number. And same thing, just open the bracket. You can see here also same thing, value 1, and then we have a comma. After that, optional value 2, 3, 4, and so on. You can see here 3 dots, that mean etc. So hit the first one, and I want to count this, for example. Just select all those and close and OK. Now it is 10. If you just make it is 10, right? For example, I want to count equal count, open the brackets. I want to count those, and then comma, same as the summation, comma, and then this, for example. Now you can see 14. Just count without sum, without anything. Just count how many cell I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on. I hope you understand that. After that, most expensive item. Most expensive item. That means the item in the price of item here, unit price, should be the maximum or the max one, or the highest value, highest price. So just equal, and I have function called max. That means maximum. Open the bracket. Same thing here. I want to add those, for example. Just I want to see the maximum, the max one. Enter. I have a 28. If you check here, you can see right equal 28 is the biggest one. If I want the min, or the lowest value, just select here and enter. You can see 7.35. If you check here, you can see 7.35 is the lowest value here. The average, if you want to add the average in the formula using the formula, you can do that. I want the average of price, this price, for example. I want the average of this price. So in the formula, just pay attention. In the formula, if I want to find the average of the price using formula, you should do that. You should add the bracket because the priority of the operation in the mathematics. So I want to add the first addition and then divided by. So the first one here plus the second one plus the third one, like this. I add all those because average, that means I should make a summation and then divided by the count of the numbers here. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I should divide it by 10. That means average, right? Now I want to find this using the function. So it is very easy. Just equal and average. Just using average without addition, without anything. And then select the range here. And enter. You can see here, same value here. 15.73. Also, I can find it another way. For example, this here, you can see here the count, right? 10 is a count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can add here another function, count, and then count of this number. So now I add those number and divide it by the count, how many number I have. So enter. Also you can see the same value. For example, here in our example, in the first example, in the previous lecture, we talk about the text to column, right? Now what if I want to make the reverse? Instead of I have one column, or I have a text in the one column, and I want to separate the first name in the column and the second name in the separated column. But now, for example, I want to recombine or concatenate between the first name and the last name, like this here. So just go here, equal. I have another type of function called concatenate. See, concatenate. and just open the file, the bracket. You can see the text1, text2, and between all of those we have a comma, right? So I want the name1 here, the first name, right? And then the name2. I want to concatenate or join or combine the first name with the last name in the one column. So just the first name and last name and enter. You can see here Usam Muhammad, right? But but without the space. I want to add a space. Also same thing. Just double click, and here you can see I will write it from beginning. I want the first name. See the text one. Come on. Text two. The text two I want just the space. So I just can add like this here and add a space. Comma again. Text three optional. I want to add this. Now we have the first name Usama and then a space and then the last name. So enter. You can see Usama Muhammad. Easy, right? Also you can add, for example, like an email. Just OK and concatenate. So the first name, for example, again I have like this. I add like this, for example, and then sorry, here I want to add this and then the last name. After that, the last name. Just select the last name. Again, comma, and I want to add for example, and then for example after that, comma again, and I want to add .com to make an email address. See now, I have concatenate the first name. After that, like this sign, and then the last name, and then add, then Gmail, then .com, or you can add it gmail.com, same thing. Now you can see here type of the text, concatenate between the text, and you can make it in any shape. Thank you very much.